to another episode of F-Zero Ending It All. Last time, Tinsel Steelus just won the Green Plant race and just defeated Biorex and Octoman. She actually wants to assure Octoman that she could help him restore his planet to Korra as well as his kind. She also got a chance to meet Beastman, who saved her from Biorex and helped her win the first place trophy. And she also met Rodney Stewart, Dr. Stewart's son, who has actually analyzed his mysterious formula that is said to reverse mind control. So, in this episode, Tinsel continues her quest to search for the task force. So without further ado, let's get this thing going. Alright, lap 3. At the Falcon House, Bert and Clank were enthusiastic on Tinsel's victory back at Greenplant. Great job, Tinsel! You totally nailed that track. I thought for sure you'd be squashed like a bug from that big fang. Thanks, I appreciate that. Although I had some help thanks to Beastman. He seems to be pretty bashful, but I hope I'll see him in the next race with that awesome hyper speeder. After Bert gave her a cup of fresh iced tea, he asked, "Were you able to find anything on the whereabouts of Rick and the others?" She shook her head in despair. "No, I'm sorry, Bert. I found nothing. Dark Million wouldn't say anything, except when Biorex kept discouraging me. Octoman never said a word either after I offered him to go back to Takora. I wish Rick was here. By the way, where's the next circuit?" "The next course is at Sand Ocean, and the track is nicknamed Sandstorm." Clank analyzed the data on a tablet. It was pretty obvious since each racer there is prone to them. "It's close to Tortoise 3, right? I remember competing there 13 years ago, and Deathwind was right after it. It's on its own planet, and it's a complete desert. There says to be no life forms until a fearless adventurer discovered ruins of a 30,000-year-old civilization deep within the sand dunes. Although the inhabitants are often a rare find, and the air is almost toxic. Nevertheless, it is popular among tourists. I also used to explore there with Jody. We couldn't find any treasures for the hunters, unfortunately." "I can't wait to race in Sand Ocean again. It's been so long." "You'll have to be careful. The course could have a lot of friction, and it's very deadly considering there are very little guardrails." "I will. Thanks, Clank. I sure hope Rick and the others will be there as well." When she was done, she trained at Sand Ocean's course from the first Grand Prix, beating her own record times. She also remembered learning how to drift there, and Big Blue before that. She was able to master it sooner than Rick did, and she did her homework as she saw vids from various competitors, as well as seeing an old movie known as Tokyo Drift. She also looked up the history as it was a technique used by the Japanese in the early 1970s. Even contests were held there, and she strategized she'll have the advantage as long as she clips the inside track. It was a risky technique, but she'd gotten used to it when dealing with large curves. Drifting truly worked wonders. Sure enough, the circuit was exactly how Clank described it, and she couldn't be distracted by the humongous fish flying across the sky, or even by the monstrous worm that ate one of the fish as it dove back into the hazardous sands during the final lap. That was a really awesome spectacle in F-Zero GX. Really awesome. There were also some narrow roads and some flashing signs pointing in the direction she needed to go before she plunged to the suffocating sands below. Some machines were unfortunate enough as they turned too late. Others were demolished by foolhardy pilots who made a sharp side attack, including Tinsel. In addition, the heavy winds were slightly knocking them off. Like they say, slow and steady wins the race, she thought, making her driving as thorough as possible. There she encountered two unique pilots and one machine that cut ahead of her. She was very impressed on how they handled it in sync amongst the harsh conditions. The two cockpits were actually connected into one contraption. An astonishing finish for the twin Narita! Gomar and Shio's talents were immeasurable as they navigated through the sandstorm. The second place winner goes to the Silver Comet as the newcomer Tinsel had remarkably survived this course. Fans are growing ecstatic for them, the announcer said over the roaring weather. By the time the competition ended, though, it began to subside. After that race, Tinsel began to become more somber after she realized her friends never showed up. Gee, wonder where Rick and the others have gone. She wasn't even sure how long it has been since she last saw them either. When they met after the duo took the gold trophy while Tinsel was the runner-up, the Furicake people told her everything. Awesome job, you two! So, who are you guys? I am Gomar, a short, plump, toad-like creature said. And I am his partner, Shio, added a taller, skinnier creature. Gomar was the one with the high intellect, while Shio had the taller physique. They're envious of each other's abilities, yet they get along just as well. Tinsel was shocked they used to be criminals, however, she was relieved after they revealed they were released on bail thanks to the prize money they earned earlier. It wasn't much since they've burnt out, but their friends and ever-increasing family were able to give them some charity. Also, they were put on probation from stealing any more machines or their components. Yeah, but we still can't wait on meeting Black Shadow. Oh, he is so elegant, and black with that awesome cape, the small fry stated. Kind of like a hero. The thin figure cupped his hands over his chest. Uh, newsflash, no, he isn't. Tinsel told them everything involving her first encounter and Dark Million's motive on ruling the galaxy. They also told her that they were a step closer from achieving their dreams as F-Zero champions. Wait, why is there two of you? I thought each machine should have only one pilot. They were at first disqualified before the F-Zero X Grand Prix as they were two individuals, yet somehow the EAD Foundation convinced the committee otherwise. Since they are from the planet Huckmine, they have an unusual relationship as they have a tendency to pair for life. As soon as the Furicakes emerge from their seed pods, which could be dormant for centuries, they get engaged with their partners, until they could somehow find a mate and marry, thus finding new partners. Both Gomar and Shio have long dreaded for that day, as they would never see each other again. She was surprised they knew Lucy Liberty, who recently helped them make some adjustments on their vehicle. At first, the machine had a moderate grip and a weak body. However, she managed to increase its strength while minimizing its turning ability by just one level. Unfortunately, it still had some low top speed, and she was also able to build an extra cockpit after one was severely damaged in the GX Grand Prix last year. Well, since you know her, how about you help her out? Just as a way to return the favor? And since you're helping the Galaxy Police, maybe it could give you some leniency on your criminal record. Sure, we'll do it, and we can achieve our dream, right, partner? They high-fived each other. This lap was very short, as I still need to come up with some better material. I hope Revive Racer 209 could help me in this bind, which he did. The way I saw it, I wanted the Deathwind theme play in the background, much like another course. It's a reference of one of the circuits featured in a special game known as Broadcast Satellite F-Zero Grand Prix 2. Unfortunately, it's Japan only, sadly. I found that on an LP, Sandstorm was one of the circuits featured there. The first being Mute CD4, which was as decent as the one in the Queen League, except there are several jump pads. The second is an advanced version of Big Blue. The third is the first Sandstorm course, which is almost a rehash of Sand Ocean with the Firefield theme. The fourth is a more tedious version of Silence. And lastly was another Sandstorm, but with a Deathwind atmosphere. There was also some modified versions of the original four machines known as the Blue Thunder, the Lunar Bomber, the Wild Amazon, and the Fire Scorpion. This chapter also had some references to the difficult Diamond Cup course on GX with Sand Ocean's lateral shift. After seeing the episode Lucy's First Duel in the Japanese anime with English subtitles, I decided to change the Twin Arita stats. Its body had the D rank, its boost was excellent in A, and the grip was so-so in C. However, I changed it so it would have the D rank while dealing with curves. You know, Dad? Kinda like the same stats as the Golden Fox and the Wonder Wasp. Plus, it had some throwbacks to the original game with the third course from the Night League, and it introduced Gomer and Shio, some of my favorite unique pilots. They always had a great sense of teamwork and camaraderie between them, even though the Twin Arita is cool but not quite as strong. So another simple lap done. Let's hope I'll come up with a better one next time. Let's hope I'll do more videos too. So, voila! Another F-Zero lap done. So, this is the Ecron Rider signing out, and hopefully we'll do more laps in ending it all. Until then, this is the Ecron Rider signing off. Goodbye, everybody.